Hey folks, a few days ago somebody left a comment on one of my videos and it just kind of really hit me. I couldn't get it out of my head. She said she'd been working since she was 7 years old. And then she wrote one more sentence. I hope I live long enough to retire. Well, I read that a couple times, not because it surprised me. We all feel that way. But I know exactly what she meant. Toward the end of my working years, I was in sales. And I wasn't part of salaried management, so I still punched a clock every morning. I'd pull into the parking lot in my old worn out Ford Explorer. Now I'm driving a little bit nicer truck. Stop in the same spot, though, almost every day. Look through my windshield, and straight ahead was a split rail fence, a 4-lane highway, and a bunch of pine trees on the other side. Normally, I was listening to an audiobook on the drive in, and when I parked, I wouldn't even turn it off. It would just keep playing. And truth be told, I wasn't even listening anymore. My coffee mug was still sitting there beside me, still hot, still mostly full. And I'd just sit there. I didn't want to shut the Explorer off. What I really wanted to do was put that sucker back in drive, pull out onto the highway, keep listening to my audiobook, finish my coffee, and just keep driving. And not because I had anywhere to go. I just didn't want to go in. And I remember thinking, one day, I'm not going to have to. Now, don't misunderstand me. I didn't hate my job. I liked the people I worked with. I believed in what we were selling. I was just done. You know what I'm saying? Not physically, but deep down, done. You know, that kind of tired that comes after 40, 50 years of somebody else deciding where you were going to work, what you were going to be doing every day. But eventually, I'd give a big sigh and I'd grab my coffee and I'd walk through those office doors. And some mornings did start a little differently. Somebody had bought donuts and left them on the table by the time clock. Well, the whole mood of the place changed. For 5 or 10 minutes, nobody was talking about sales numbers. Somebody would crack a joke. Somebody else would complain about the football team, the Braves, the baseball team. We'd stand there drinking our coffee, eating a donut, and laughing like we didn't have a full day of work waiting for us. Looking back, I don't remember many sales meetings, and I don't remember most of the reports. But I do remember those mornings around the donut table. You know, it's funny how life works. The things we think are important, they fade away. But the little things become the memories. You know, my mind, it wandered a lot during those years, especially the last year, and not toward work, toward retirement. My wife and I have families scattered up and down the East Coast, Massachusetts, Florida, and we always talked about spending more time with them. You know, you get your 1 week of vacation a year, you subtract the travel days, and how much time did we really have left? Was it even worth unpacking? But underneath that vacation math was another calculation I didn't even talk about. Would I actually live long enough to get there? Would I be able to enjoy those years I'd been saving for? And that's not the kind of thing men especially usually admit. But I sat there with it anyway because that's what we all do, isn't it? You just keep going. Thankfully for me, that day came. I did retire. The first morning, though, wasn't what I expected. I still woke up early. 40 some years of getting up for work doesn't disappear overnight. I walked into the kitchen. My wife was already up. She smiled and said, "Well, you're retired. What are you going to do today?" And I just stood there. I didn't have a plan. I hadn't let myself believe the day would actually come. And I think that was the problem. These days, I still work, probably more than I should, but I still have to have a little bit of money. But I'm on my own clock. That Green Mile feeling disappeared if you've seen the movie. We made those beach trips. The garden I used to think about while sitting in that parking lot is finally growing the way I'd always hoped. My wife and I, we do spend time together, more time than we ever did before. And I just want you to know, before you get the wrong idea, retirement isn't some magical finish line. There are bills. You still have responsibilities. There's no hippie headbands. You don't go join a commune. And life didn't suddenly become perfect, it just became different. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I still drive by that old workplace sometimes, split rail fence, pine trees on the other side. I don't stop in the parking lot anymore. But every now and then I'll ease off the gas a little and just remember what it felt like sitting there, not wanting to go in. Tell you what, folks, I do keep thinking about that woman who wrote she'd been working since she was 7. I hope she gets there. I really do. And I hope that when she does, she finds that peace she's been looking for. And I hope the same thing for you. If you're watching this video and you're at that stage of life where you're feeling, am I ever going to get there? Is this job ever going to end? Well, for most of us folks, it does. You really get there. And I just want you to focus on there are great times coming, okay? Don't spend all of your time in the doldrums thinking, boy, I hate this place. I don't like my job, because it's going to end faster than you know it. So start planning on what you're going to do when it does end. And I appreciate you guys coming along with me on this journey. I'm trying to figure this channel out. And if you like what you're seeing, please hit the like button and subscribe. And until the next time, God bless.